A clip of YNW Melly praying and blowing a kiss during his murder trial has gone viral.
He was doing it a couple times. That wasn't his first time.
The victim's mother says it was disrespectful.
What you praying for? Because you sitting over there like you don't got no remorse. Like every time I walk in, you smiling. You know, this ain't the time for that. This case is sad.
Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demon, is accused of killing 2 friends in 2018 and covering it up as a drive-by.
And I'ma smoke all of my pain away, cause that's the only thing they gon' heal it. I don't understand you women who go around pretending as if they really fought with me. So I love them all from a distance. Cause it's I'm right. I'm straight. Got all that mess with promethazine.
Guns in my head and they won't go.
Spirits in my head and they won't go.
I got guns in my head and they won't go.
Spirits in my head and they won't.
It all started with a joke that didn't feel like a joke. That's Melly mocking the idea of fake crying. And 2 days earlier, the man he laughed about was knocking his gold tooth clean out of his mouth. 2 days later, that same man was dead, and the person who drove those bodies to the ER is now sitting in prison after taking a plea deal he swore he'd never accept. This case isn't just about murder charges, it's about broken friendships, secret threats, digital confessions, and the last days of a rap movement that looked unstoppable. Today, we're breaking down the collapse of the original YNW circle, Sack Chaser, Juvie, Bortlin, Jay Green, Slime, and the truth about what led to one of the darkest stories hip-hop has ever seen. Because once you hear what happened behind the scenes, you'll understand why so many fans believe this tragedy was years in the making. Before the gunshots, before the hospital drop-off, before the mugshots and courtroom tears, there was Sack Chaser. Not the muscle, not the hype man, the organizer. Sack Chaser was the oldest of the group, the one who acted like the unofficial manager. He handled business, branding, promotion, the boring work behind the scenes that keeps a rap movement alive. And trust me, Melly didn't rise alone. Sack was part of that rise, but the problem? He wasn't soft. He didn't sugarcoat anything. And according to court documents, he pushed Melly hard, sometimes too hard. Then prosecutors dropped the bombshell. Messages where Sack Chaser demanded money from Melly, even threatening him. Not exactly the energy you expect between brothers. And then comes the fight. 2 days before his death, Sack Chaser allegedly punched Melly so hard that the gold tooth went flying. This wasn't a minor scuffle. This was pride, ego, and real anger bubbling over. Then came October 26, 2018, the night everything ended. Sack Chaser arrived at the hospital with 8 gunshot wounds, 4 in the head, 3 in the back, 1 in the arm. Melly posted a tribute the next day, calling it a drive-by. But forensic experts shut that story down fast. A top ballistic analyst testified that the shots came from inside the SUV, not outside, meaning the whole drive-by narrative destroyed. His estate later filed a wrongful death lawsuit. But the shadows caught him anyway, and he wasn't the only one. Juvie was just 19 when he died, a kid with more hunger in one verse than some artists have in their entire catalog. He grew up in the same struggling neighborhood as Melly, same streets, same dreams, same survival instincts. But out of everyone, Juvie might have had the purest heart in the crew. He and Sack founded YNW with Melly and Jay Green. They believed they'd make it out together. On tracks like Young Gans, you can hear how tight they were. Every verse felt like a promise. We're gonna make it out the mud. But Juvie didn't get that chance. On that same night, he was shot multiple times. 4 in the back, 1 in the head, 1 in the arm. Forensic testimony suggested he might have been asleep when the bullets hit him. Imagine that. You fall asleep in the car with your crew, and you never wake up. His father believes greed played a role, pointing to a rumored $5 million branding deal tied to YNW. He filed his own wrongful death suit and has spent years demanding justice. But those plays hit different now, because we know he never lived to see his own potential. If there's one part of the story that shook the internet, it's this. Bortlin took a plea deal. Well, he took one. Let's rewind. He was the driver that night. He told police it was a drive-by. But the prosecution says he helped stage the scene, driving around with bodies in the back for almost an hour to give Melly time to fire extra shots into the SUV from outside to fake the story. For years, he stood beside Melly. 2 soldiers, 1 story. Then 2025 came, and the deal dropped. He pled no contest to accessory charges and witness tampering conspiracy. 10 years. Credit for time served. 6 years probation. His lawyer swore he didn't snitch. But a detail in the paperwork changed everything. He agreed to a proffer, a requirement to provide truthful statements about what happened. Fans exploded, blogs went wild, loyalty was questioned. And as of now, Bortlen is locked up with a projected release date around 2032. This was the moment people realized the original YNW circle wasn't just collapsing, it had already shattered. Jay Green was there from day one. He wasn't a side artist, he wasn't a plus one. He co-founded YNW, and he was Juvie's cousin. His song Rugged hit millions of streams. His features with Melly were buzzing before Melly ever hit Billboard. But in 2018, he walked away. No drama online, no diss tracks, no interviews calling people out. He quietly left the group. Later he explained it. Egos were growing, tensions rising, something felt off. But behind those words, you can hear the heartbreak. He didn't just lose collaborators, he lost family. Today he runs his own label, makes music independently, and watches the case unfold from the outside. The only original YNW member who didn't end up dead or imprisoned. He was 11 when Melly got arrested. A child watching his big brother become a global headline. Today he's 18. Millions of views. Collaborations with stars, his own fan base. But it came with a heavy price. B-Slime had nothing to do with the murders. He was literally a kid in Gifford, far away from that SUV, but prosecutors still tried to use his tribute songs in the lyrics as evidence strategy to paint YNW as a criminal gang. Imagine being a child, writing a song for your brother, and that song gets added to a murder case file. He's stood by Melly every step of the way, posting updates, performing tributes, keeping the brand alive. But he's also had to grow up faster than anyone should. Because when Melly went to jail, B-Slime became the last public face of the family. This case didn't just shake Florida. It shook the entire rap industry. Because almost at the same time, another massive case exploded. YSL versus the state of Georgia. Young Thug accused of running a gang. Lyrics used as evidence. A courtroom circus broadcast everywhere. And suddenly, Melly's case started looking like part of the same pattern. Detective Danny Polo, the same masked gang expert from Melly's trial, tied YNW to G-Shine blood subsets. He pulled photos from Melly's phone showing hand signs. He showed texts where letters were swapped to disrespect rival gangs. He connected altercations in Atlanta to rising tension inside the group. And the biggest parallel of all, rap lyrics were treated like confessions. Florida has no law protecting artists like California and New York now do. So songs like Murder on My Mind became Exhibit A in the court of public opinion. Fans argued racism, prosecutors argued motive. And suddenly the outcome of these cases mattered not just for Melly, but for every rapper using storytelling as art. Florida rap is its own universe, and within that universe, Kodak Black is one of the brightest and most controversial stars. But when it came to Melly, Kodak showed something rare: loyalty. He posted Melly's jail photos, shouted "Free Melly" on tracks, stayed vocal even when it hurt his image. Kodak knows what that legal system feels like. He did federal time. He needed a Trump pardon to get out early, so when he says, "same old boat," he means it. And now, he's trying to turn his life around, receiving keys to cities, donating AC units to families, paying rent for those struggling. But the bond between him and Melly remains untouched by the chaos around the case. This entire story starts and ends with one person: Jamal YNW Melly Demons. Born to a 14-year-old single mom, raised in poverty, bounced in and out of detention. He recorded Murder on My Mind before the murders ever happened. A chilling coincidence that ended up defining his entire image. When he turned himself in on February 13th, 2019, the rap world froze. 2 friends dead, 1 superstar accused, and a courtroom waiting to decide whether he lives or dies. The evidence was brutal. Digital messages, prosecutors claim, show admissions. Forensics proving shots came from inside the car. His first trial ended with a split jury and a mistrial. The retrial has now been delayed until 2027, meaning Melly will sit in a cell for over 8 years before getting another chance. He's also accused of trying to intimidate witnesses. He sued the jail for harsh conditions. He fights the death penalty under Florida's controversial law. And while the world argues about whether he's innocent or guilty, his music keeps streaming. Billions of plays, a fan base that refuses to abandon him. The YNW brand he built is now drenched in tragedy. 2 friends dead, 1 friend imprisoned, 1 friend disappeared into the shadows, a younger brother forced to become a man. And Melly sits at the center, the one person who knows exactly what happened inside that SUV. The original YNW circle was supposed to rise together. Instead, it collapsed under secrets, tension, ego, and unthinkable violence. Was it betrayal? Was it jealousy? Was it fame tearing childhood bonds apart? Or was it something deeper? Something that none of them were ready for? And until a jury reaches a final decision, the world is left with one haunting question. Did YNW Melly lose his brothers? Or did he take them? Drop your thoughts below, hit subscribe, and check out the videos on your screen for more stories that pull back the curtain on the truth behind the headlines.